Hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and we wanted to do kind of a little subscriber update. So we hit, I think, 1.5k subs, which is really cool. We definitely kind of didn't really expect it that, at least last year, but even this year as well. So we just wanted to thank you all in advance and kind of give you an update on some things in the channel, what we're working on, and that kind of stuff. So Tegan, do you want to talk about the Zen documentary?
Yeah, we're still working on that. We've gotten all of the interviews recorded with a bunch of different Fab community members. Right now, we're just putting all the parts together. Uh, it's taking a little bit longer than I think either of us thought it would take. It's kind of a huge project. But yeah, it's coming along great. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of the summer is kind of where I'm shooting for. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and we're going to put like a little kind of sneak preview in like right about here. The first and most important card I want to touch on here is Bonds of Ancestry. Bonds of Ancestry, or Bonds, was a card that was initially printed in Outsiders to buff Katsu's predictable combat math and add flexibility to his lines. Bonds is functionally a 0 for 4 with Go Again that could banish a card from your graveyard and then search for a card with the same name for your deck, which you can then play this combat chain. It was released alongside a very flexible combo card, Descendant Gustwave, or Descendant, an unassuming 1 for 3 that was discounted by 1 and got 2 additional power as Surging Strike was the last card played. An important thing to note here is that Descendant could also be used as a starter, or a card with unconditional Go Again that can start a combo line much like Surging Strike. I wanted to give 2 examples here of how these cards were played. The common line for Katsu was like Kadachi into Surging Strike, Descendant Gustwave, Bonds of Ancestry, banishing maybe a Dishonor from Graveyard into Dishonor, which is basically Katsu's bread and butter line. This ended up being a 4-card 19 with a pretty devastating on-hit on the back end. To illustrate that Descendant can also be a starter, you could do something like Kadachi, Descendant, Bonds, Flusterfist, which ends up being a 3-card 13 with some pretty annoying breakpoints. An important thing to note here is that Bonds of Ancestry can also recur another copy of Bonds of Ancestry or Descendant Gustwave. This interaction could allow for some very wide combat chains, such as Descendant, Bonds, Flusterfist. Notably, early Zen lists did experiment with Bonds of Ancestry. However, the biggest miss was that people were including Surging Strike alongside Bonds of Ancestry, which was good in Katsu, but many didn't realize you could just play Descendant by itself as a starter, even if it was below rate on its own.
The biggest difference was always just how focused we were on bonds. We had some bonds lists, they were not good enough, and we basically moved away from bonds lists and we're focused more on, I guess, what Zen became in the end. Like, that is the best example of what internal Zen decks look like. And it was a fine deck, and it was a deck we were happy with and did cool stuff and was a positive contributor to the metagame. Like, all these mistakes feel silly in retrospect. That's the hard part about it. Just never came to where we had the fully fleshed out bonds line.
Well, that was a pretty cool little preview. I also wanted to kind of do like a little kind of subscriber kind of giveaway. So we have here this young Betsy Marvel that we've had in our binder for forever because neither of us play Blitz and we don't have a reason to play Betsy. But yeah, we wanted to do this as like a little giveaway for the channel. So to enter that giveaway, just tell us like, give us some feedback on the channel, basically. Like, what do you like about the channel? Like, what do you think we should do more of, less of, that kind of stuff. It kind of helps us like plan out some stuff, and we do kind of like take the feedback into consideration when we're kind of like figuring out what videos to record, that kind of thing. So to enter, basically, just like leave a comment on this video basically, and then also make sure you're like subscribed to the channel and everything, and then we'll kind of use the comments that basically to kind of figure out who the winner is, and then from there we'll like message you directly. So that's kind of what we're gonna do for our subscribers. Again, it's gonna be a Betsy. We're probably gonna sign it as well, maybe do a little funny thing on it or something. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We did also want to quickly plug in one other thing. So normally we kind of like don't really push our Patreon too hard because we don't really like post a ton on there. We kind of mostly use this for updates on the Zen documentary, which we're still continuing to work on. But there is now actually an incentive for joining the Patreon. I think this only applies to like the paid members. So if this kind of interests you, let us know. But basically, Talshar introduced like this new thing where you can add playmats and sleeves. So I took it upon myself to basically go into MS Paint and create our brand new beautiful playmat and sleeve. So I wanted to kind of briefly showcase that off against the practice dummy here, and we'll kind of show you what that playmat looks like. And as you can see, it is one of the best playmats that I think you can get currently on Talishar. You have the fluorescent pink with that kind of like I guess contrasts with the Zen on, like, I think this is supposed to be like Wilson. At least that's how I envision it. That's one of our cats, which you can see pictured here. That so we basically put Zen's face on Wilson, and then we also made like little sleeves with it as well. So if you're interested in this abomination of a playmat, you can give us like $2 on Patreon. So if you want to rent this playmat, feel free, because it is obviously one of the more funny playmats, and I drew it. I traced it / drew it myself. So yeah, pretty sweet playmat. I'm going to be rocking it for all future videos, and yeah. Yeah, so with that, I think we're gonna pretty much wrap it up. We just wanted to give you a thank you, because it's kind of wild how many people either like or just like follow us or even dislike us. Like it's kind of wild how much reach our channel has gotten, and like how much it's grown in the past like year or so. So I just wanted to give like a special thank you to all our subscribers, and just offer some little goodies basically here and there if you're interested in supporting us, or if you just like our channel. So yeah, if you want to enter the giveaway, remember to please add a comment in this video, and then also make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, we'll give you an entry, and just please tell us what you like about the channel, or like what you want to see more of. And yeah, anything else from you, Tegan?
No, that's pretty much everything. Just thanks again. It's been a lot of fun working on this, and it's cool seeing people like the stuff that we do.
Yeah, and the Zen documentary is coming out soon. We're kind of the only reason that we're doing like the on and off days for the content is basically just so we can work on that. So yeah, if you're kind of like waiting for that, it's coming down the pipeline. We're just working pretty hard in the background to kind of like make that work while also doing like our normal content. So a lot of little juggling back and forth, but we're gonna get it done by this summer.
I promise it will absolutely be worth the wait.
Yeah, it's already looking very, very good. Yeah, so thank you all for watching, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. And a special thank you to all the folks who decided it would be a good idea to give us $2 on Patreon. We really appreciate the support, but it's obviously never required.